Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
It's time to do this, Chickabee.
Yeah, Chickabee. Time to learn some country grammar.
Hell yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Nell.
No!
Nell.
No!
Protected by a place the world has never touched. Isolated by a language no one else can speak. Awaits a mystery called Nell.
I love how tons of nudity is okay in a movie, as long as it's like quote unquote important or like a drama or something.
Yeah, this is PG-13.
Loaded with boobs. So many boobies.
Yeah.
But like other movies, it's like you get one glimpse of half a boobie and it's rated R. It's just
right.
We live in a very hilariously puritanical country.
We used to be better about it, I would argue. Like these days, I think Nell would be rated R.
Yeah.
I straight up think it would be.
Oh yeah.
But you can show someone get their head punched off in a PG-13 movie.
Sure can.
Like it's so American. It's so very American.
Yep.
Before we get started, big thank you to Burrito.
Thank you.
They are the one who did this to us. Burrito, thank you so much
and
for having us watch
congratulations,
Nell.
really.
Yeah.
On getting this.
Getting us to watch Nell.
You deserve to force us to watch Nell.
An Egg Pictures production, which I don't know, made me laugh.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's from Egg Pictures. And it was like, all right. Sure.
I was reeling from Michael Apted a bit.
Mm-hmm. I seen this once as a child.
I've never seen this. I really remember the trailers though. Like I really remember the trailers.
I saw it once as a child, which makes me wonder why I saw it once as a child.
I mean, I used to see a lot of like big important dramas, with capital letters and like adult dramas and stuff because that was just like half of what was in the movies at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I can imagine my parents just throwing on Nell one day. Yeah. It's chaos. It was chaos in the 90s.
Yeah, it's pure chaos.
Yeah.
Well, they probably like, well, maybe he'll learn like compassion or empathy or something from this.
They're probably just like, everybody says Nell's good and important. Let's watch Nell.
Look at this lady. She talks weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that inspire you?
It's pretty notorious. Apparently, Jodie Foster was going to direct it. She was all in on Nell. She loves Nell. She said it's one of her favorite roles. Yeah. Which makes me feel better about Nell, weirdly, because I think if this was played by like a 19-year-old actress who was like just starting out and wasn't really, you know what I mean? Where I'm like
Brittany Murphy and Don't Say a Word.
Exactly. Where it's just like, I like that at least Jodie Foster was like, I'm owning this. This is mine. Nell is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this movie is about a lady in, I'm going to guess, Appalachia.
I'm not exactly sure where we are.
Or it's like, it's the backwoods of America.
Yeah, it's the mountainous South.
Yes. She's feral, and Liam Neeson.
Sort of.
Exactly. She's they
she wears
Wild
clothes
Child,
and lives in a cabin and can read.
Right.
I think. She can't read. She can't read. I'm sorry.
But they reference like Wild Child shit. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's more that she was raised by an old lady who probably wasn't always old, but
she
with
didn't
her
start
sister.
out old.
Yeah, who the lady was deaf, I believe, and so like the language, there was no real language, and so Nell established her own like hillbilly language, right?
Yeah, like she and her she and her twin had like a twin language, but then her twin drowns, so they're both still little girls.
Right. Do they know, by the way?
What?
Sorry, do they establish... Does Liam Neeson find out that she drowned?
Yes.
In this? Okay, good. Because I was thinking at the end, like when she's... Spoilers. When she's with the Liam Neeson's daughter, I wanted her to be like, "You remind me of my sister that I killed," or something, and then credits.
I mean, that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He follows her.
We see her skeleton
to like a cave. Yeah. We see her little skeleton.
Do we know if I was Liam Neeson, I'd be like, do we know if Nell held her underwater? Do we know? Do we know if Nell killed her sister?
She really doesn't seem like she did.
She isn't. She's
pretty upset
nice
about it. Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah, I mean, we don't know. She could have done it. That could be. Yeah. She could not have ever had a sister, and that could just be some skeleton she found. We don't know.
Yeah. Tom, I didn't hate this movie, by the way.
I didn't hate it, but like
I kind of enjoyed it.
But like, it's such a self-indulgent performance.
Yes, it's Jodie Foster really
like
just,
it's she should be embarrassed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, so the idea I had remembered that Nell had like was mentally disabled, and that's not the case.
No.
And so, like, I think that took the edge off immediately. Watching this movie.
No, I can't call it like I'm not calling
it's not radio with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I should clarify. I'm not calling it offensive on like on like that sort of level. I'm calling it offensive on an acting level.
Yeah, it's a big swing. It's a big swing that she is just she's letting it all out there.
It is Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, not literally, but like the same amount of like.
Yeah, like I said, I can't really say it any better than it is such a self-indulgent performance.
Yeah. Oh, you mean not Robert Downey Jr. Like the character of Robert Downey Jr.
The character
not
he's playing.
Him doing blackface, which is also a big swing.
That's a big swing. Yeah.
But yeah,
I meant the character he's playing, Kirk Lazarus.
Yes, that's exactly.
It's a real Kirk Lazarus performance.
It's generally like, no, you're right, and I think her performance gets. I thought it got better as the movie went, as she becomes more like used to the world and stuff. Like,
yeah, I respect that she has to. I mean, I don't not respect it because she does completely inhabit it. You can't say she's not going all in, like you said.
Right. I guess what it is,
you do see there is a progression. It is a difficult role, obviously. She has a lot that she has to do, and like you're saying, she has almost like she does have three like distinct stages at least.
Yeah. She was nominated for this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, no, it's what you're saying, which is like, it's kind of hard to watch though. Because it is like such, it's just like, oh, fuck. Okay.
It's like bumping up against Calculon.
Yeah.
In my opinion. It's so melodramatic and self-indulgent. It's just like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Like I never once believed Nell was a real person.
Yeah, that's fair. That's more than fair. Mm-hmm. Well, because again, it's like, I don't know. She's a wild child, but not like you're saying. Where it's like, I don't know, it's more of like she was raised by a lady who seemed to like, it's like a 1 or 2 person cult with her sister.
Yeah, basically. She was raised by her aunt, I think, who was deaf. So that's why she never learned language.
Right.
But that does not explain everything else about her.
Exactly. Who also like taught her to fear the day and taught her, I think, to fear rape.
Yeah, no, that was her mom, I think.
Right, because Nell doesn't seem to care. Nell is more scared of the daylight.
Yeah, she is scared of men.
Except for Liam Neeson.
Well, at first, she's kicking his face in.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, she
gets over
freaks
it pretty fast,
out on him, yeah. It takes a bit.
Yeah.
He has to stalk her for a few days.
Yeah, and then
I'll
just get right to it.
Steal snippets of her language.
Yep, and then show her his penis while another lady watches.
They have to bathe nude.
That's when I was like...
While this second hot lady watches.
Yeah, that's when I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? That's the moment where when they get to court...
Okay, so here's the scene where I get to bathe in the nude with Natasha Richardson and Jodie Foster.
That was the scene where,
I signed on to this movie.
If they had told the judge this, the judge would have been like, "Oh, okay,
okay,
so
yeah, you guys
everybody's
are freaks.
going to
you
jail."
guys were freaks the whole time. Okay, yeah, we got to get her away from you.
Because that's so I guess what it is about this movie is I don't mind the idea of the movie. I like the general thought of like, is it better?
I do like that
to be happy or normal.
Well, and
quote unquote normal rather.
And right, and they also the general like I did really like the story of the movie where the whole idea is does she actually need help?
Right.
Like she seems to be
living
different. She seems to be living fine. She's not asking for anybody's help.
Affording groceries.
Right, like if she was like an old man, like a backwoods old man out there brewing up moonshine and barely speaking English, nobody would be like he needs to be institutionalized. They'd be like, that's Hank, leave him alone.
I was wondering at a certain point.
You don't go past this line, or else you're going to have to deal with Hank.
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, Nell, I'm sure this property's worth a lot. Build a fence. Build a wall. Get these freaks off. Or I was hoping there'd be a moment where it goes too far and Nell just switches to like regular language. Like, look, I deal meth. I'm a meth dealer, okay? I was doing a thing. I just need everybody to leave me alone.
She's like, holy shit.
Yeah, this went too far. I was doing a thing. I thought it would be funny.
I really thought you guys would have gone home when I started shitting everywhere, but you guys just won't leave, and this is a tough act to keep up, man.
And I think that's the thing is like they're circling around this idea.
I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, they circle around this idea and they don't quite do it. I think is that like I was watching this with Hannah, who knows a weird amount about feral children, and Hannah was telling me
that's another big distinction in this movie. She's an adult.
Yes, she's an adult. But Hannah was talking about how there was a case of like a feral child who they learned language, and then the people who taught her got so wrapped up in like their fight for credit that the kid reverted back.
Yep.
Like this idea of like
it happens a lot.
Right. This idea that it's all about everybody around Nell's ego and sort of like, and there's a little bit of that with Liam Neeson and Natasha Richardson. But I feel like I think that the Liam Neeson's character is an idiot. In this, does some very stupid things.
He does some wildly unprofessional things, that's for sure.
But there's like the part where the press shows up and there's a helicopter because it's the 90s, there's no internet, and everybody's interested in Nell. He goes, "We need to get out of here." And then he decides to bring Nell to the hospital.
Yeah, he talks to Natasha Richardson. Sucks. Well, yeah, he never wanted to take her there in the first place. That was his argument. Was like Natasha's like, well, she needs to go be institutionalized. She needs to have constant care. And he's like, does she? She's taking care of herself.
Right.
She just talks funny.
Stupid. Because it's like, don't bring her to the hospital. And then he escapes and brings her to the hotel. And I'm like, yeah, bring her to a fucking hotel. Nell, that's the thing is like, they keep doing this thing about, like, I was joking about her killing her sister, but very much you watch and you're like, she's not a harm to anybody or herself. They bring her out into the real world and it's like, she's like a manic pixie dream girl. Like, that's it. She's just a free spirit. She's not really like, I'd let Nell watch kids. Like, it's like, yeah, she's completely and utterly like a moral and like average human who speaks a different language, right? That's ultimately doesn't understand a lot of societal customs because she is duped by Private Upham into but there's I would argue that if someone other than Liam Neeson and like got involved, like the private customs. So I wrote this down. They're to teach her about sex. They number one, first offer. Liam Neeson shows her his penis and skinny dips with her.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they bring her into town and then lose sight of her.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they let her wander into a bar.
Yep. And then number three, they show her a book about sex. Literally, when the scene where he was skinny dipping, Hannah yelled out, "Give her a book." And it was like, yeah, just give. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, are you Like, there is a way to introduce Nell to these things that is way less weird.
She can't read English, but
there's pictures for kids.
Sure, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Don't whip it out, Liam.
No, I'm not saying you definitely don't start there.
You
gotta work your way up to it.
This feels like a film where like it needed the characters to be maniacs for things to happen.
To a degree, you sort of understand Liam Neeson. What I was saying is he and Natasha Richardson, who were at odds, but now, of course, they're united in their belief that Nell should be allowed to live her own goddamn life.
Yeah.
But they both realize that, like, or rather, this is what they say. They come to the conclusion that she's not going to be able to get away from people harassing her and all these helicopters and stuff, and it's just going to be terrifying for her because she's not ever going to understand what it is. But then they're like, well, I guess we have to just take her to the hospital. Like, that's the that's the only place she'll be safe.
That's a terrible decision.
Yes, it is.
Take her to a nice hotel. Mm-hmm. Take her to go see a Star Wars. Like, there's so many things,
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's what I mean, where it was like, he's like, I guess we have no choice. And I'm like, there are so many things in between.
Yeah, it's
institutionalizing her.
Like they started with nude penis instead of book.
Right. They're all over the place with their process.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to establish that they had a conversation about it.
Yeah, they do, but it's weird. The whole
they come to a weird conclusion.
Right. It feels like it's the story of two doctors, and this is what I mean is like it's a little bit in there, but I actually wish it was more about them being just competitive and like kind of sucking. And like fetishizing Nell, because you get that they're like observing her. Like, this is the director of Gorillas in the Mist, and like it's that vibe, right? Where they're like, we're gonna like observe her from outside and stuff like that. And I wanted Nell at one point to just call the cops on them,
right? And just look right up at the one of the cameras,
yeah,
and be like,
to just be like, yeah, get out, get out.
I saw you come in and set these up. I know what a camera is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know that the idea is Nell isn't fully used to civilization, but they do lean into that, which is like Natasha Richardson and Liam Neeson like being like, look at, she's so special, and they're fighting over what to do with her. It just sort of turns into like, I don't know, it turns into her giving a big heartfelt speech to a judge.
I groaned through that entire. That was boy, that was embarrassing. That was like Sorkin.
Yeah, they were circling a good idea with this. And then they sort of like got wrapped up in their own bullshit of like, Nell is magical, and it's like, no.
Yeah. I get but like you were saying, I do get like that could have been a really powerful ending, like her standing up and showing these fucking yahoos that she has agency and this is her life and she gets to decide what to do with it.
Right. And I have to note, again, Liam Neeson's so bad that this is him in court about to fight the guy. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, there's a few points where Liam Neeson, we get like action Liam Neeson, and he stands up and he's about to fight a psychiatrist, and Nell has to basically be like, okay, I'll do it.
He's gonna take in the dude on the witness stand.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like this is going to be good for your case.
Right.
And then at one point, they're like, aren't you getting a little too close to your patient? And he's like, she's not my patient.
I showed her my penis, damn it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It's like, she's not your patient. Then why are you hanging around her?
Yeah.
We're friends.
We're buddies.
Sure, I guess so.
Again, they're trying to do a thing. I know what they're trying to do. They're just...
Yeah. No, yeah, he says, I'm not her doctor. It's like, she's not my patient because she's not sick. Yeah, that's basically what he says.
Right. And it's like, then why'd you bring her to a fucking hospital, man? Take her to Disneyland. She would have loved Disneyland.
Right, you don't, here or the yeah.
Yeah.
This cabin or the hospital we're not the only two places in the world,
and
man.
He figures it out. He goes to the fucking Holiday Inn, which I'm like, all right, that's something. That's better than the hospital. Should have done that first.
Just stay there.
Literally, when they drive her into the city, the moment they put her in a car, I thought she was going to try to kill the car, and she loves the car. they put her in a car and she's like, this is awesome.
Yeah, she's
they bring her to the
mesmerized
city
by
and she's
it.
like, this is awesome. She is not scared of the world. She is actually like, oh, I'm interested. I'm curious, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it just feels like they fuck it up. They really fuck it up.
They do,
Nell.
yeah. They really overstimulate her.
If I ever see Liam Neeson, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to say, you fucked it up with
Yeah,
Nell.
you really fucked up things for Nell.
Yeah.
Her
He really
recovery
did.
could have been a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Or recovery.
again-
That's not even the right word, because
Well,
that's the whole point
the
of the
thing.
movie.
So, like, I hate to bring up the movie Powder, but this is like around Powder, right? This is a Powder
we don't
adjacent
hate
film.
bringing up the movie Powder.
Yeah, this is a Powder adjacent
The
film.
movie Powder deserves to be brought up with some regularity, just to make sure those involved never feel like they've gotten away with it.
Yes, that's true. But Powder, I haven't seen Powder in a while, and I don't think I can watch Powder again, knowing everything I know about it.
Yeah.
Nobody watched Powder, but from what I remember, because as a kid I did watch it a bunch of times.
Powder
Yeah, I watched Powder at least 6
really
times.
spoke to you, huh?
No, it spoke to my sister. I hate to put her on blast, but my sister watched it a lot. She didn't know that it was directed by a pedophile, so
Nobody did. At
nobody
that
did
time.
at the time. The movie about the hairless magic
that
boy.
might not even be true.
I don't know. You nowadays you watch Powder and you're like, this was like you don't
made
need
by
to
a
know. You're like, this was made by a pedophile.
Definitely
But
made by a pedophile.
the idea of Powder or like
Gosh.
Phenomenon, I could use Phenomenon as a reference, is a person who's magical in a way that's so obviously special and cool that everybody around them is going, he's a freak. It's that, right? It's X-Men. It's like, when like someone has magical storm powers and people are like, get out of here, you freak. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't think you want to call them a freak.
Yeah.
Also, they look like Halle Berry, but like, the point being that they kind of treat Nell like it's one of those movies, which is like the world isn't going to understand Nell, and Nell isn't going to understand the world. But like the problem is that Nell isn't that.
No.
Like doesn't like she is at first. Like she's like a cryptid at first, where like they find the body with the
She's like
flowers.
the Jersey Devil.
Yeah. But like by the time the halfway point happens, she's like kind of just hanging with them.
More or less, yeah. She's swimming up to their boat.
Right. At that point she's just like, this
Like
is
a
my cousin
mermaid.
from Right. It's just like, this is my cousin from France. Like that's the vibe you get. It's like she's a little weird and like doesn't speak the same language and
Yeah, like she's
but,
about to start
like,
showing them her yearbooks.
Yeah. Like yes, she doesn't understand certain things.
They're all just one picture because she was homeschooled in that cabin, but still.
Right. Yeah. She had a prom. I hope she had a prom.
She 100% had a prom.
Should we? I feel like we haven't explained this movie to people,
What
but
is there to explain?
yeah, I was. By the way, I was shocked to find out it was remastered because this was a movie. My vibe was like people were letting Nell go.
No, it was a financial success and was critically acclaimed.
Again, it was nominated. So it's like it's not as bad as like American Beauty, right? Where
No,
like,
no, no, no,
America
no, no.
lost their minds.
Yeah. Oh,
for
man.
this.
That movie's embarrassing for a few reasons now.
Yeah.
But
I guess what.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I guess what I'm circling with Nell is that I feel like the problem they present isn't that unsolvable as the movie makes it out to be. Nell isn't this enigma that like can't understand.
Right.
You just have to sort of like all you have to do is say like this is this is that, this is that.
Right.
And she seems to get it.
Well, it turns out that she's mostly speaking English.
Yes, that's one of the
It's
big
just
reveals.
a deep hillbilly drawl.
Yes, it is. She's Boomhauer.
She's
Like,
she's Boomhauer that guy in Hot Fuzz with all
Yes.
the guns.
That's like one
That's
of the
it.
early reveals. Is they're like she's like I think she might be speaking English. It's like
Yeah, she's just dropping like vowels and consonants here and there, but that's like fucking. Like
Right.
she's like evildoer. It's like she's saying
Yeah.
evildoer, you fucking idiot.
right.
Like how hard
Liam
is that?
He has to
You a
interpret
doctor?
at the end.
Oh, so yeah. So anyway, I guess what just to explain the movie, if we hadn't, it's the old lady taking care of her dies. Liam Neeson is a doctor.
He's like an old person doctor.
Yeah,
Did
he's
you know,
he's the town doctor.
Okay, it was just very funny because they show him on a call with an old person, and then they're like, Liam, there's another old person and help. And I was like, is he like the old person vet?
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think he's like Jeff Daniels in Arachnophobia.
yeah, yeah,
Or the old guy that hates Jeff Daniels and is then murdered by a spider
right. He's one of those two.
to elevate Jeff Daniels' position.
We should watch Arachnophobia.
We definitely should watch Arachnophobia.
Yeah. But yeah, so he gets called and they find Nell.
Yeah.
And the cop is almost going to shoot her. He says, "What the hell is it?" They're acting like...
To be fair, like Nell, he opens the door.
At him.
She's screeching, thrashing her arms and legs.
Right. She looks like she's possessed.
I don't blame him for drawing his gun.
Yeah. Again, she's like a
but then it's
cryptid.
like, but put it away. Put it away.
Right. And again, she's not... Then they keep saying she's a wild child and stuff, but as we keep saying, she lives in a cabin. She doesn't have electricity, and that's it.
Yeah, she wears clothes. She feeds herself. She's carving. She's whittling gourds.
She lives in the 1600s.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that, where it's like...
She's living off the grid. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't need you.
But she has her own language.
Go away.
And again, they bring up this really good idea where they're like, like, we have to teach her about the world. And it's sort of like, but why? Let her... it's like that tribe that nobody fucks with that still exists.
The uncontacted tribe? Yeah, on
where
that
we're
island.
like... Yeah, where it's like, but they're missing out. And it's like, on what? What are they missing out on? Let them be.
Leave them be.
Yeah. Until we...
That's the dream, honestly.
One day we might have to knock on their door and be like, okay, so you're
Can we
sinking...
have this?
Like, or yeah, can we have this? It's one or the other, right? It's going to be like, listen, there's no good way to tell you this, but we fucked everything up, and now this island is sinking.
We're going to need this island.
Yeah.
How many can we fit in there?
Yeah. So yeah, that's like the starting idea. It's like...
and basically Liam Neeson takes her on to see if he can communicate with her because, as we mentioned, Natasha Richardson and this dingbat dude want to just drop her right in an institution.
The therapist, the evil therapist,
yeah,
is
the evil
perfect
therapist.
Casting. There's some those rat dicks at the bar.
Oh
perfect
yeah,
casting.
fucking Private Upham. You can't cast a better rat dick than that guy.
Yeah, amazing. Anyway, so it's sort of like, all right, so the judge is like, I don't fucking understand this. You guys have like 3 months to decide, like what the fuck's going on.
3 months to really determine whether or not she can take care of herself.
Yeah. And the movie knows as much as, again, it's circling this idea where it's like, it's a paradise where she lives. They pretend mosquitoes don't exist, and they're like, this place is amazing and great. And anybody could live there.
They pretend a lot of wildlife doesn't exist.
Yeah, they do.
They go in a cabin right there on the creek. It's like, man, you're going to have
a lot
snakes
of things
in
here.
your bed every day.
Yeah. And so they're doing the thing. Again, it feels like he's fetishizing her. Like he's camping out. He's like watching her from afar, observing her with binoculars in the woods. Mm-hmm. Like she doesn't
stalks
know.
her for quite a while, yeah.
Yeah, he stalks her. And then she comes with a boat, a fancy science boat, and he's like, look at you with your fancy science boat. And it this feeling of like, and he's looking around like, this is the life, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's an element of like, yeah, they're right? Like, don't take her away from this place that's gorgeous and that, again, she probably owns and could make millions of dollars selling this eventually.
They do say that her aunt, and I guess now she does, owns all of that land. Like it's acres and acres and acres. I forget how much it is, but they do say it's a whole shitload.
Nell's going to get rich.
Oh, yeah.
Nell's going to move to the city.
I assume they're all living on her land at that barbecue at the end.
Nell's going to make a startup. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I like the solution. The ending is they're basically like, hey, what if the community like just was there for her? It's like, yeah. And to their credit, they never like have her community really like be like, oh, what a freak. It's only those rat dicks.
Yeah.
But for the most part, again, they do like the magical Nell shit where the cop's wife is like touched. They do the thing where it's like, you've all been touched by Nell. You've all been changed by Nell.
His wife has some sort of cognitive or communicative disorder. And so we do get a scene where we see people being treated for that in the hospital. Right. So I do appreciate that they're like right up front trying to make it very clear that like, no, this is not like some freak thing.
Right.
But they still do make her like magical.
Yeah,
like she
can, like a little magical.
She can magically communicate with the cop's wife.
Yeah. And it's weird because like, yeah.
It's like, because why? Because they both don't.
So even when Nell progresses, there's a constant vibe. The performance is like she took Molly. Like it's Nell wants to touch.
That's the big thing that there's absolutely no explanation for.
Right, where it's like I think
why
Nell
is
might
she
be
always doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
She's doing like the orb in the air.
Yes, it's like she's at Burning Man 24/7.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and so that
she's at Burning Man and her fingers are tingling.
Right, they should have a reveal where all they do is grow mushrooms there, magic mushrooms or something, and that's like, all she eats.
Liam Neeson finally notices that like her eyes are as big as dinner plates.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think she's high.
Yeah. She's just been high. Yeah, and so like that's the stuff where it's like I guess Nell speaks another language and is also kind of weird.
Yeah, she's like, weird. Who gives a shit?
Right. Because she's not feral. Like,
no,
again,
she's just
feralness.
She's just not socially adjusted, which does not mean feral.
I think the idea is she's like a child, right? Like
kind of, yeah. She just kind of doesn't really understand custom and the the social contract.
Right, and I don't know exactly how to explore that. And what I mean is that like I was at the movie theater today, and there were kids in line, and the parents are trying to get them to buy, like, you know, now you pay for your thing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of when you're a kid and, like, there's no, like, rules, man. And it is that vibe of, like, why do I have to stand in this line? Why do I have to pay for this thing? And there's no really explaining it to kids because what you have to explain is, like, look, we made up a bunch of rules.
Right. You have to explain, like,
a lot of sense.
8 tiers of concepts to them.
Right. That are arbitrary and dumb ultimately, where it's like a kid
they don't make any sense.
Yeah. And so this idea of Nell being like a pure being I like, which is like she doesn't understand the idea of currency and like doesn't understand like basic social issues. And one of those would be honestly clothes. Like, I mean, Jodie Foster does get naked in this, but she wears clothes for the most part.
Yeah.
But that idea of what are we without society is a very interesting question.
Yeah.
And then the question goes to what is an adult? Because that's the other thing is like, she's not a child.
No.
And she's acting kind of like a child in this. And I'm like, would she be a child? Like the concept of sex baffles her, but I'm like, she's like 20 something. Like,
oh yeah.
She's figured some stuff out, right? Like
probably, but I don't know.
Right, but like she's gone through puberty, like it's
100%.
Like she's not.
Well, she probably
child.
still had she still had
child.
her aunt around for that. Yeah, like she was raised.
Exactly.
She was just raised in a unusual communicative state.
Right, and so it's really hard to figure out like it feels like they didn't explore that. It's very 90s where it's just like, you know, she's just special and she's like a free spiritish and she like runs around and like smiles and like makes weird like gestures and it's like, but what I really kind of want to know what that really means. Like it says a lot about her aunt where you're like, I feel like her aunt was weird.
Oh yeah.
In some way.
Her aunt was living alone in the woods.
Oh yeah. But
with
like
this girl who only spoke a twin language.
Right. But like there was more to it, right? Like it's not a vacuum for Nell, but I'm like, well, what the hell? Why is Nell this?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The movie doesn't, in my opinion, it ultimately doesn't do enough to explain why she's the way she is.
There's not enough factors.
Unless I missed something watching it, but
well, it's more like if I was Liam Neeson dealing with Nell, the first thing I would want to know is what did this old lady tell her over the years?
Hey, what did this look like?
She's not a wild child, is I guess what I'm getting at, which is like, you know what they should have done? The old lady should have been a skeleton, like her sister, and the real is like, oh, since she was like 8, she's been alone.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah, exactly. But it's sort of like, it seems like it was more of like, again, a cult, where it's like this old lady could have told her anything.
Well, we specifically know that like her mom was assaulted and then sort of raised both her and her sister to be terrified of men.
Right.
And to stay away from them.
I expect more guns.
Yeah, honestly,
under the floorboards. Right. And so like that fact, I'm like, but she also didn't teach her to like read and I guess she died. They had a Bible right there. Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know. It's weird because it feels like, it wouldn't be this. It wouldn't be someone who doesn't understand, like, I don't know. It's weird because if she raised her to be afraid of men, she doesn't act. No, she's afraid of Liam Neeson, but once they go into town, she's not afraid of men.
Yeah, like improbably, what gets her comfortable with Liam Neeson is he shows her his dong.
Right, and you'd think that's like the first thing that woman would tell her, like, if this happens, stab him in the stomach. Mm-hmm. Like, I was expecting Nell to shank people way more with that she's afraid of men line, where I'm like, all right, well, she's just going to be shanking dudes.
Yep, it's like a stone dagger.
Right, it just feels unfocused, what Nell, like, it feels like they didn't build, like, a specific enough, like, character there.
No, it's really vague. Like her conditions are really vague, and it just like I said, I never believed she was a real person. Like I just don't see how this would turn you into a perpetual backup dancer in a Prince video.
Right. There's no lore here. Like it's like a bad sci-fi where you're like watching and you're like, I don't know why. Like why are there spaceships shaped that way? And it's like someone thought it was cool. They didn't think about like the logic. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Nell is built in this way where it feels like it started with she should do this and do this and do this. And it's like, why? Like, I don't know. I think it'll be neat. You know, like it feels like more that than like, let's build it from the ground up. Let's think about like logically what this character would be like.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I got that vibe from it, but it did feel super unfocused.
Right. I guess the big thing with me where they're like, she's terrified of men. And then watching the movie, I was like,
that very quickly goes away. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's not, they like just one skinny, and I get it. If I skinny dip with Liam Neeson, you know, that's a good way to acclimate yourself to dongs, I guess.
Sure.
It's Liam Neeson.
Very tall dongs, tall Irish dongs.
She'd be really disappointed in every other man she met. She'd be like, oh, they're not all like Liam Neeson. That's a shame. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like that's
my mother was right to raise me this way.
That like after that skinny dip, she's just like, I'm good with all men.
She's pretty much fine, yeah.
To a fault where I'll like flash them in a bar now, and it's like, well, I thought you were, you know, like I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, Nell. Yeah, it's Nell. It's Nell. What else are you gonna say? I'm pretty sure this is where Liam Neeson met Natasha Richardson and they got married.
No, it isn't.
It's not. Okay.
So they worked on a play together before this. They got married the year Nell came out.
Oh, shit.
This is how they celebrated their marriage.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. She's great in this.
Clinking your little champagne flutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing a whole voice too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all doing voices. They're having a blast. I love Liam Neeson puts, I think, 2 people in headlocks in this, or like headlock adjacent moves.
He throws a few people around, yeah.
He's got that real like Gangs of New York vibe where you're reminded every now and then that you're like, he's scary. Like he's a large, scary man. If you
noticed, they filmed him like with the other person way in the foreground a lot, so it didn't look like he was towering over them that much.
Yeah, they're filming him like it's fucking Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's what got me tripped up when I said learn.
It's, I don't know, the part where the photographer goes there, I was like, he's going to kill him. No one will find his body.
Does.
Yeah. It's weird because then he's like, I'm
the shit out of him.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm sorry, don't tell anyone. And that reporter tells people, and I wouldn't tell a soul after that encounter with Liam Neeson.
Mm-mm.
I wanted people to start showing up in
There's
the woods
a gun
looking...
in that cabin.
Right. I wanted people to start showing up, and Liam Neeson is now the cryptid, where they're like, I hear there's this like terrifying
taking
man
pictures
living in
of
the
him.
cabin. Yeah. Just put up a fence, Nell. I don't know. Just teach her. That's all you need to teach her is like, put up a fence.
Like
get
definitely,
these people off your property.
Definitely teach her all of English and world history and art and culture and humanities and stuff. But like, maybe start with fence.
Start with fence.
Start with fence.
Yeah, just say, listen, you don't want these rat dicks coming on your property? Put up a fence.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Learn that word.
It's your property.
Explain that concept.
Yeah.
Just really make sure fence.
Yeah. Very needed, Nell.
Important
Fence
lesson.
Fence and gun. Honestly, Nell.
Oh, yeah. She could get a gun before she got a fence.
Yeah, that's true. So, oh, yeah, she could get a gun that any time. She
The
could
fence
just
is
roll
way
into
more
town.
expensive.
It's true. Yeah, I don't
Even
know.
one just around her little cabin.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little round fence.
Just a little fence around her cabin.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, like this movie was circling a lot of ideas that I thought was interesting. It's weird to say this, but I wouldn't hate a remake of Nell.
Yeah, it's based on a play I saw.
Yeah,
in the credits at the beginning. Not a play that I saw.
This is one that I feel like I've seen a few movies like this where you're like, this isn't a bad idea. It circles good ideas.
It's just not executed quite where it needed to be.
Right. The cast is great. It's like...
everybody's doing a good job. Again, it's just...
Even Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster's committing to it. It's just... It feels like a gag. Like she's so... Man...
Right.
It's like such obvious I am going to win an Oscar for my transformative role.
Right. It feels like it's the 90s fault.
A little bit, yeah. You're right. I hadn't thought about that before.
Right. Like
this
I
did
think,
sort of start happening in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like Danny Boyle recently saying like, someone else probably should have made Slumdog Millionaire. Like where I'm like I appreciate that thought, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I mean, Slumdog Millionaire is a good movie. Last time I watched it, I enjoyed it.
I saw it when it came out, but I haven't
But I
seen
get
it
what
since.
he's saying. He's just like someone who's like a little more intimate with this culture, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with a little more, and it's sort of that with this, where it's like, this needed more like a little more finesse. Like it was probably pretty good for it's like watching Star Trek and you're like, this is progressive for the time, but yeah, they sort of missed some stuff, I feel like Nell is like the heart's in the right place a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
But it just felt like they had that 90s sensibilities where they're like, we need this romance.
Make her
Liam
magical,
Neeson.
yeah.
Yeah, where it's like we got to shake off some of these 90s sensibilities. Then we'll really get Nell. Who would be in Nell today? Who would make Nell?
Emma Stone.
Oh my God, that's such a good pick. Holy shit! You think of that because of Poor Things. Poor Things is like a Nell, a better Nell.
It's not dissimilar. That's true.
Yeah. Poor Things is like they kind of nail it up, and I think they do what Nell was trying to do, like the fetish, like fetishizing her, and like, yeah, Poor Things is a Nell. It's Nell adjacent. It's a relative of Nell. It's the dead sister of Nell. Yeah.
Yes, it's the dead skeleton sister.
Yeah. I think I don't have anything else to say about Nell. Let me check my notes real quick. Do you have anything else to say about Nell?
I'm checking my notes. No.
Checking notes.
That is all I have to say about Nell.
Oh, remember when they spoon with Nell?
Yeah,
this
they
is what
both
I mean.
climb into bed with Nell.
What
the hell are you doing?
Right. Again, I feel
Which
like
medical textbook did you find this in?
Right. I feel like a lot of people could handle the Nell situation better than them. Mm-hmm. I guess that's it. Where they're like, when they start being like, we're her parents now. And I'm like, I don't think Nell indicated that at all.
No.
I don't think you need to play house with Nell. I think you guys also need help.
Yeah, there's something weird going on with you two.
Yeah. You get the vibe that Liam Neeson like is recently divorced or something in it. Like he has.
Says he is.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't be doing this. He has a chip on his shoulder. You can tell.
It's one of the first lines he says. I'm divorced.
Right. I am so divorced.
I'm
going to take it out on Nell.
I haven't got any money because I'm so divorced.
Nell is my wife now.
Yeah.
They do the stuff like they do the part where she's like, "You gonna fuck Nell or what?" And he's like, "No, I'm not interested in that."
Just because I think she's hot.
Yes, he's like, I think she's beautiful, and we're both watching her skinny dip right now. And it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, Natasha Richardson's like, we shouldn't be watching this. And I'm like, yes, that's correct. You should not be watching this.
Yeah. And he's like, nah.
Nah, it's fine.
Let's
she
crack
can't
open
see
some
us.
beers.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. It's real weird.
So who do you got in your fantasy team?
Just talking about Nell.
Just talking about whatever, yeah. We should do a fantasy league of 90s dramas, 90s melodramas.
What does that mean? Like
we should get a pool of 90s melodramas, you, me, and I don't know, a few other participants.
Yeah.
And do a draft where we all get to draft movies from that pool.
All right, how do they win?
Yeah, that's the thing I need to figure out.
Well,
and we can put our heads together.
I'm into this.
Yeah, we should do this somehow.
Yeah, I think we could do this. Well, somehow. We'll figure it out. We can have people watch them and like vote on them or something and not tell them who's like there has to be like impartiality, right? Where it's like we can't tilt, we can't put our thumbs on the scales, And then
that would be irresponsible of us, yeah.
Exactly. We can't be like, we can't Nell this.
We can't muddy our integrity like that.
Exactly.
Nell is too important.
Oh yeah, someone has to pick Nell.
It's going to be fucking number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
What else would it be?
I don't know. Powder? Powder's going to lose that.
Phenomenon.
Michael.
There's a few Travoltas in there.
Yes. That's the thing is Nell feels like it belongs to that family and shouldn't. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Like what I mean is that it shouldn't in the sense of like the story they're telling. She's not magical.
No, and yet they tried to make her so.
Yeah.
Really strange instinct for Nell.
They should have, we should have done the verses like genres with these, like Nell versus Phenomenon. Like they should have made sequels like that.
You're right. They should have.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a Nick Cage performance in this decade somewhere.
I was gonna say City of Angels, but
that applies
more,
here.
City of Angels is.
I would definitely throw City of Angels on there. I think.
Yeah, it does have that. Yeah, man, I want to watch that again. That's a dumb movie.
Oh yeah,
I remember. Based off such a good movie, they really dumbed up that story. You ever see Wings of Desire?
No.
It's the story it's based off of.
Yeah.
The angel's played by Hitler, meaning Hitler from Downfall. And it's weird. It's jarring to see Hitler just going around doing angel stuff. Yeah. It's weird stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nell. Watch it now. Watch it today. In a theater near you. Catch Nell.
God damn
I almost bought it, but I didn't.
I got pretty close. But then I realized, when am I going to watch Nell again?
That's the thing. Whenever I buy versus rent, I'm like, okay, am I going to watch this at least 3 more times?
Right.
Sometimes the answer is yes. Like with Nell, I'm like, it might come up a few more times in my life.
It's possible, yeah.
It's possible I want to pop on Nell.
It's possible I will watch Nell again.
Yeah, I might show it to people. I might say like, do you want to watch Nell to somebody? You know?
Yeah.
Put on Nell.
You want to check out A River Runs Through It?
Oh, yeah. That'd be a good double feature with Nell.
Mm-hmm. Legends of the Fall.
Well, yeah, that's
Now
your
we're
clear
talking.
double feature. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do. Yeah, we'll think on this fantasy draft.
Yeah, we'll get back to you guys. But for now, Burrito, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us watch Nell. No one else was going to do it. And to be honest, like I wanted to watch this. I wanted a reason to watch it.
Oh, yeah. Giving me an excuse to watch Nell finally after all these years.
Yes.
A trailer that I know so well.
Yeah.
I got to finally watch it.
I'm glad you got to finally watch it, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Burrito.
Thank you, Burrito.
This was through our Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed, GAMEFULLY unemployed. For just $5 a month, you get access to like 700 podcasts.
Way too many.
There are so many. Yeah. We have Fox Mulder as a Maniac. We have Tom and Jeff Watch Batman. We have Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, Himboos, which is about Supernatural, the show, not the phenomenon, the movie by John Travolta. Not by him. He didn't make Phenomenon.
He made it, but
that was the first movie I watched.
Made it.
Right. That's the first movie I watched on Laserdisc.
Ooh, what
Phenomenon.
a treat.
Yeah. Yeah. We also watched movies every Friday night.
How did his brain tumor look?
It looked good.
Was it really
sharp?
I gotta say, a lot of high resolution.
Not a movie you need to watch on Laserdisc. Like popping Jurassic Park, popping ID4 or something.
Literally any other film.
Yeah. So yeah, watch movies with it every Friday night. That's another tier. It's fun. Have we watched Phenomenon? We have absolutely watched Phenomenon.
I think we have, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we also watched the music video.
Probably. And we will watch Nell. Maybe.
Absolutely,
Probably.
we'll watch Nell.
Yeah.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Rate and review our podcasts wherever you're listening to this. It helps us out. Doesn't have to be a good review. Whatever kind of review you want.
But it should be.
But it should be.
We do a good job.
It'd be hurtful. We try really hard.
We do a good job. Yeah.
Check out our new show, Badical, BADICAL, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
We can be done, right?
We could be done. So let's be done. Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.